performance of Dr. Atomic?
I have. Well, not every performance. I've seen every production because it's performed several times at any. Yeah, I have. Oh, you were told. Yeah, that's right. It's a disease, I think. When the Dr. Atomic, the opera, was commissioned by the San Francisco Opera Company, and I had a call one day from the then head of the or director, whatever his title was, John Rhodes of the Bradbury Museum. He was having visitors, I think the next day, from the San Francisco Opera Company, who wanted to visit Los Alamos and the museum. And I knew John, and he knew that I was a member of the Oppenheimer Committee. So would the committee be interested in meeting these people? I said, wow, that's not, and San Francisco was my hometown, by the way, you know. And so I said, gee, I don't know. So I called the then chair of the committee and told her, and she said, I can't do anything. If you'd like to go, just go ahead and meet them. That would be interesting. So I went to the Bradbury Museum and met them along with some other people that were invited. The visitors were there were two women and a gentleman. One woman was an editor working at the San Francisco Opera Company. The other woman. I thought, well, it turned out she is, I think, still, but I'm not sure of that. This was in 2005. Was the head property person for the San Francisco Opera Company. When I learned that, I was surprised because she was quite young. I wasn't surprised because she's a woman, but she seemed quite young to me. But to have that responsibility, the San Francisco Opera Company is one of the major companies in the United States. And then the gentleman was the editor's father. He was a lawyer, an attorney in San Francisco. I think he may have been retired. I'm not quite sure about that. But anyways, interesting to meet them. And we toured the Bradbury Museum. And then we went to the Blue Window, which was located in a different place, for lunch. Anybody that wanted to come. And then I offered to drive to tour the people, the three guests, around Los Alamos. And no, there's something else. I had suggested to John Rhodes that they might be interested in visiting the Oppenheimer House. And he agreed with me, and he agreed to call the residents of the home, whose name escapes me at the moment, but I certainly know them. I did not know them as well as I learned to know them later. And they graciously agreed. Helene Saddam, the owner. And so I took them to the Oppenheimer House, and they were thrilled to pieces because, and I didn't know this, a scene of the opera takes place in the Oppenheimer House. So to get into the Oppenheimer House, which of course is some years later, was thrilling. I mean, they were just delighted. Now the scene in the opera is in the bedroom, and there's just a bed. That's it. But I'm sure the property person did not know what they were expected to furnish at that early stage. This was early in the spring. So anyway, I got to know these three people pretty well, especially the two women, and told them that I might probably come out to San Francisco and look and see the performance. And so I did that, and then it turned out that the next performance was going to be done in Amsterdam. The opera was commissioned basically by San Francisco, but sort of co-produced by the opera in Amsterdam and Chicago Lyric. So I thought, well, gee,